my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scar.
Good morning, everybody. If I can get a comm check right off the bat, that would be super duper. Looks like all lights are green and we are ready to go. We're ready for takeoff. All right, I'm going to drink a little coffee. I feel like there's something wrong on the Rumble side, but I cannot tell what it is. I guess I could take one more look at it because I love Rumble so much. Let's see here. Okay, so it looks like she's operating. I was just needed to refresh my browser. All right, let's see here. I got to fix that. Do that 5-man job. It's so much fun to have to do all this by myself. Okay, so good morning, guys. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Looks like the score is a crushing 23-2, which is fine by me. What do we got? Well, I guess they have Hicktown Honey just popped in on Rumble first. Good for you, girl. Good for you. Let's see here. So on the YouTube side, Debbie first, Rose number 2, West Virginia Pappy, you are deterred. None of those guys are members. What's going on there, members? Viking Queen, good morning, young lady. JB, the 25th, Light Raider, Andy Pearson, Southern Tier Prepper, Catitude, Bradley Collins, Pastor of Reality, Jordan, Mr. J. Ian says 5 by 5. Bob Pita, good morning. What do we got here? My secondhand life. I don't recognize you. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We got Cool Colt is in the house. And let's see here. Yes, that's it. That's it. Preston, I thought you became a member. I thought you had a membership. Interesting. Okay. And Ian has showed up to say good morning. Andy Pearson is number 2. He's omnipresent. Okay. So if the thumbnail and the chat and the title of the video didn't key off the subject of this iteration, we're going to talk a little bit about not losing your freedom after defending your home. Now, first and foremost, I've got to throw a disclaimer out there. I am not a lawyer, and the information provided here is not intended as legal advice. It is important to familiarize yourself with local, state, and federal laws regarding self-defense and the use of force, as these laws vary by jurisdiction. To ensure you are fully protected, consult with a qualified legal professional who can offer advice tailored to your specific situation. I am not responsible for any actions you choose to take based on this information. Now that we've done that, CYA cover. Yes, it's covered. It's thoroughly covered now. Southern Tier Prepper, good to see you. Good to see you. I have to re-up my. Dang, just realized I had to re-up my membership. Mine like a steel block of steel. Let's see here. Southern Tier Prepper 5 by 5. Thank you. My son is a member. We watch together on my TV. Yes, I know who you are, Rose. I got you. Let's see here. I'm going to go to the chat real quick and see if there's anything. If anybody pointed anything, don't forget the warning shot. That's hilarious. Not legal in some states. Let's see here. All right. So I think we're good to go on the comms. West Virginia Pappy, you are deterred on the Rumble and omnipresent as usual. So on the YouTube side, there's a poll that's on the board. In a crisis scenario, how important is it to consider legal consequences when defending yourself? Oh, Preston got his membership. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. Is there anything I can push, like a magical button I can push on here to like make it bigger or better? No, just either that or ban him. No, I don't want to do that. Ha ha! There we go. All right, let's see here. So once again, the question is, in a crisis, how important it is to consider legal consequences when defending yourself. Currently, 40% believe that it somewhat depends on the situation. 33% believe that important, but survival is first. 20% only survival is all that matters. And 7% say critical. Law returns eventually. There's a lot of truth in all of those statements. There's a lot of truth in all of those. I'm back, baby. There you go. All right. So getting into it. getting into it. During a crisis event, it's commonly believed that desperation may lead to individuals, may lead individuals to behave badly toward those who they think have the stuff that they want. This fear often leads Americans leads to Americans arming themselves, getting training in defensive tactics, and preparing their homes for this event. These actions are a good idea, but they may not be enough to avoid the after effects of a defensive shooting. Southern Tier Prepper says, I fixed it now. Okay, I'll check after this. I don't know what that is, but anyway, I still love you. All right, let's see here. Why is that? There we go. The sucker was like locked into place for something. Software failure. So reading the last one, these actions are a good idea, but they may not be enough to avoid the after effects of a defensive shooting. So here's the problem that I keep seeing over and over again. Many preppers look ahead to a post-disaster time, making the assumption that there'll be a complete breakdown of society, including a breakdown of law and order. In such time, the common assumption will be that we preppers can do just about anything necessary to defend our home and family. But we personally, there's a part of me that says I don't think so, because I've always believed that we will come back. If we get into that without the rule of law period, if God forbid we ever got into a situation like that, we would eventually come back and people would remember who did those bad things. So, if you don't understand, if you're new to the channel and don't know how this works, basically the format is I say something, you write something, I talk about what you wrote. So if you don't write anything, then we cruise through this stuff pretty quickly. Laser, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, Laser. Laser is number 4 on the Rumble side. Currently, the score is 32-20. So I guess Rumble woke up. I feel like Rumble is like it's like all the people that are at work typing away on their machines, and I'm in their ear right now. I'm in your ear like a bug. Let's see, Jericho. I got you. Good stuff, Rose. All right, so legal considerations. Legal considerations for self-defense. That's interesting. It's an interesting premise that we're going to be talking about. It seems as if I'm the only one talking, but that's okay. The use of deadly force in self-defense is permitted under American law, but under specific conditions. For any defensive action to be legally justified, it must meet 2 key criteria. The threat must be imminent, which means you're not like laying in wait, and the level of force must be deemed reasonable under the circumstances. Hey, good to see you, Cuck. Good to see you. Cuck V. By the way, if you guys didn't know what that is, that's actually a pretty cool truck. Let's see here. So first things first, imminent threat. An attacker must present an immediate danger or serious injury or death or deadly force, for deadly force to be justified. This means that minor threats, such as a simple assault or verbal harassment, do not meet the legal standard for using legal force. In a post-disaster world, this criteria may become blurry. It remains a crucial component of law. It's a nurse for you too. I don't recognize you. Make sure you subscribe. What are you typing in the chat there? Anyone else have all prepper channels blacked out? All info on the channel, member numbers, anything else about the channel is whited out. Tried on my phone and laptop. Wow. No, I haven't. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. A nurse. I'm just calling you nurse for you too. There's too many vowels in there. Let's see here. Jordan says, I was just watching the other prepper channels, but YouTube does like to censor. Very true. Very true. So imminent threat is actually a huge part. It's one of the 2 criteria necessary to use deadly force. So you can't be just like, he kicked my door in, then he stood there. That's not an imminent threat. Well, I'm not going to wait for him to do. You kind of have to wait for it to become a threat, because literally it's just breaking an entry at that point. Andy says on Rumble, in my state, a defender can use whatever level of force they think is necessary to meet an equivalent threat, up to and include lethal force, to protect themselves or someone else. Yes, this is exactly why I threw that disclaimer out there, because there are some states that require you to retreat, and that deadly force can only be used if you cannot retreat, even in your own home. Even if you're defending like a loved one or another person. So it's tricky, and you need to make sure that you know your laws. Cuckfee says, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Absolutely, 100%. And we're going to talk about some lawyer stuff here after we finish with the basic input stuff. Bob says, in martial arts class, being taught to not clench fist, to keep hands open in defense mode due to cameras always being present. If in your home, all bets are off. There you go, Bob. I got that. Stray Kitten says, sometimes I accidentally open strangers' apartment and car door. Please don't shoot me. There was a situation that happened in New York a couple years ago where the cops came through the wrong door and a couple of cops got shot. Now that person got killed, but the parents sued, and the police department was sued for millions of dollars. So let's see here. Doesn't a body, what are you saying, Pastor? Doesn't a dead body have to be present in order for a crime to be committed? Just dispose of the body and keep your mouth shut. Oh, how we long for the old days. Let's see here. JB says, retreat? I'd leave that state, theoretically. I got you. Bill King says, Texas, stand your ground, baby. You got to watch out, though. Castle doctrine is tricky. It seems very simplistic, but know your laws. Mr. J says, you'll need proof. Blink has wireless indoor and outdoor cameras you can upload directly to a cloud system. They charge off USB and cost $50 to $80. Mr. J, you're absolutely right. I really wish I had one of those like cameras. They're not that expensive. I should buy one. But I've been rehearsing my lecture for the Kentucky Sustainable, Kentucky Homesteading and the Sustainable Living and Preparedness Expo. Too many words. They need something more catchy. And one of the big pieces, obviously you guys know my mantra is water, food security, and security is, it talks about security cameras. There's no reason not to have security cameras inside your house. They're so inexpensive. They work. They basically set themselves up. Beep, beep, beep. You're done. And now you can go to frickin' Tahiti and watch what happens in your kitchen. There's no reason not to have it, Let's see here. Rose says, Indy teenager opened wrong car door and was shot last winter at one of our malls. Yeah, it's discretion. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. What do we say? Chicken McNug says, when it comes to me and mine, laws are damned. Yes. Billy King says, I have 3 360 cameras. That's interesting. My second life says, I'm 5'2", homemaker, homesteaders. To me, breaking into my house is an imminent threat. Yes, exactly. And you're gonna, and I believe that you would be correct. Let's see here. Stray Kitten says, your yard sign, don't call 911. We call 811. Perfect. West Virginia Pappy says, well, actually, Andy says no obligation to retreat. And West Virginia Pappy says, just saying, my youngest daughter has a pig farm. Just saying. All right. So the next thing, let's reiterate the one of the two things you have to have is imminent threat, and the next one is reasonable person standard. Okay. feel one of those things come on. I just realized I didn't yawn the entire live stream last Friday, which is pretty awesome. All right, so reasonable person standard. So courts also use what they call the reasonable person standard to determine whether the actions taken were that of an average person would consider appropriate under similar circumstances. In other words, even in the chaos of a disaster, lethal force cannot be used unless a reasonable person would have done the same. So if you do something unreasonable with your firearm, you're probably going to have a bad day. The challenge for preppers is that while society may temporarily experience lapses in law enforcement, a complete breakdown of law and order is unlikely in all but the most extreme situations. Courts and law enforcement agencies are often restored in the aftermath of a crisis, and actions taken during the height of the emergency may be scrutinized after the fact. Therefore, preppers must be careful to follow these legal principles, even during times of disaster, to avoid future prosecution. I'm going to go check out. Looks like we have 21 votes. I'm not asking you to vote right now, but there are 47 in the YouTube and 21 votes. If you want to save your vote to the end, I completely understand. As I understand it, you only get one shot at this, which seems kind of stupid. Let's see here. Currently, important, but survival first. I'm sorry. The question is, in a crisis scenario, how important is it to consider legal consequences when defending yourselves? 38% are leading the pack with important, but survival first. There it is. Oh, there it is. It's just started. It just started. All right. What do we got here? 32% believe that it's somewhat important depending on the situation. 23% believe that only survival is all that matters, and 5% believe that that it's critical to think of the legal consequences because law will eventually return. Okay, so going to the chat here, we got a few people popped in here. Let's see here. Southern Tier Prepper says, I was a disabled female. My boomstick is my only method of self-defense. I'm not taking any chances with a bat or a blade. Yes, you should be competent and trained with your defensive tool. Let's see here. My lawyer said yard signs can show premeditation. Yes, actually, yes. There's when you go to some gun shows, they were kind of prevalent pre-COVID-19, where I can't believe I just said that. This live stream just got banned. Anyway, the yard signs, it's like the things that we think are cool, but they come and get us in the end. There was a yard sign that used to say, if you can read this sign, you're in range of my gun. And then a lot of lawyers that I have spoken to about that particular sign say, yes, that's preemption. Basically, you're telling them, you're trying to scare them off. Okay, we get it. But what you're telling everybody is that you're going to shoot someone. That's what's going to happen. Good morning, Cindy. Good to see you, young lady. I'm knee deep in the chat right now. Otherwise, I would present you on the screen, as all members should be. Let's see here. Jordan says, where'd it go? Just the chat is going a little crazy here. Where'd it go, Joe? There it is. I don't like having cameras in my house. Too easy to hack and have the world see me. And my cop neighbor says he's gotten warrants from cameras and watched for weeks before arrest. No thanks. Yes, there are some things that can and cannot be done. But I would like to lean on the side of common sense. I would like to lean on the side of law enforcement as a force for good, and that there's no reason to look at your cameras with a warrant unless you're suspected of a crime. And if you had not committed a crime, then they would literally watch the cameras and go, this is a waste of our time, and then go away. Yeah, now maybe they got to see you run through the house naked a couple times. Maybe they saw a few things they shouldn't have seen. Okay. But I mean, if you've got a camera in the bedroom, this is your problem, not theirs. Anywho, no one would know. I'm just leaning on the side of justice is all I'm saying. All right, let's see here. Stray Kitten says, I don't have a yard, just a yard sign idea of course, bad idea because it'll be held against you. Yes, it could be. It could be. This is right up there with people who pimp out their pistols. And instead of leaning on the idea that it makes me more accurate, so I'm less dangerous to the public. The prosecutor would be basically say that it's now a killing machine. Let's see here. Is there a difference if you shoot someone outside your house on your property versus inside your house? I'm sure there is based on your jurisdiction. But once again, I'm not a lawyer. What I will tell you is that self-defense is self-defense. If somebody is coming at you with a weapon, or you believe that they're going to kill you, maim you, disable you, mess you up worse than a fist fight, I would say, then you probably have the same authority outside as inside. But what I will tell you is that if you live in a blue state, you are going to have a problem with that. Stray Kitten says, Jordan O'Neill, I wonder if there's cameras you can turn on and off. You can turn on if you get a knock visit, a no-knock visit. I don't know. That's a tough question. Let's see here. We got some agreements. Got Cindy popping in. There you go. I got you, Cindy. Good morning. Bradley says, I have a small 28-inch kid ball bat for some situation, and my personal protector tool is always within reach. And if it happened in my home, it's probably falling under castle law. Yes, exactly. Let's see here. Tenacious Thorn Leon, I don't recognize you. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. It's more important than you think. Get yourself a Black's Law Dictionary. It saved me when I was under investigation for writing ups. Well, I mean, you probably shouldn't have been doing that, bro. But any hardcore reference, I'm sure most people would like. Thank you for the advice, bro. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Kitten says, I think some beware of dog signs have been used against people in dog bite incidents. I mean, that is a possibility. There's always some lawyer out there looking to some prosecutor out there looking to flip flop what's right into wrong. It's a little ridiculous. So it really has a lot to do with your state. It's called signage. What is it? Signage holds the weight of the force of law. So, in North Carolina, if you post a sign that says no guns allowed on your business, and you walk into this business and you're armed, whether you're armed or concealed carry, you have just broken the law, and you're probably going to lose your gun. You're probably going to lose all your license, your rights to carry everything. But if you do that in Virginia does not. Well, honestly, I don't remember. I will say that if a state does not have signage has the weight of law, then that sign means nothing, absolutely nothing. They literally have to trespass you. So just be cautious and know the laws. That's the big message here. What do we got here? Just remember, wounded people sue. Okay. In Texas, make sure they fall outside. Cuck V says, depending on the situation, try to use less than lethal force. If that doesn't work, use lethal force. That shows your intent was not to unalive the person. Heard that on another YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean, it's called escalation of force. But it really varies state to state. Dog signs and others can be known as attractive nuisance. I got you, Ian. Rose says private property doesn't protect you. Invaders can still come in and sue if injured on your property. Let's see here. Tenacious says I wasn't being investigated for writing, but I wasn't but I wasn't writing them. I was being harassed by corrupt legal system. I believe that, man. I believe that, Tenacious. I mean, it's there's just some places that don't have anything better to do than push, crazy ideologies, and it does happen. So, okay, let's go ahead and it looks like we're almost halfway through this. And as usual, guys, if you love your country, put a number 1 in the chat, America. And I'm going to sip some coffee and read some stuff to you as you do that. Ah, glug, glug, glug. It's like liquid gold, liquid gold. Checking the chat, we're up to 28 votes. The question is, in a legal scenario, how important is it to consider legal consequences when defending yourself? Currently, 43% believe that it's important, but survival is first. I'm sorry, somebody just voted, 45%. 24% believe somewhat, depends on the situation. 21 believe that it's only survival that matters, and 10% that say that it's critical. Law returns eventually. All right, let's see here. Tyrants always cry about being victims of threat. 100% true. 100% true, Stray Kitten. 100% true. Coffee mug in hand. I love it, man. I love it. I'm going to put you up there. Budgetoom, coffee mug in hand. All right, let's see here. Okay, so let's talk about something called post-disaster accountability. Well, you know what? Hold on a second. One thing. I'm going to try to do something. It's kind of like double-edged. Okay. And let me go ahead and check here. Where is it at? Patreon. That's not it. We don't do Patreon anymore. Okay. So I'm going to try and do something here, guys. One of the companies that sponsored PREPSTOCK, I'm going to try and pay some bills here, make you think about some of the money that you're going to spend. But I'm an affiliate for Refuge Medical, link in description, right up front. But I get letters from them time to time because I support their cause. They are a religious organization. For those of you that know that I'm not super religious, but I got these emails from them from time to time, and I wanted to share one with you. This one says, "What's up, Refuge Nation? You may not know who I am, but my name is Kaylee. I'm the one behind all of the emails and texts you receive from us. You may also know me as Miss Bob." IYKYK. I don't know what that is. I am the email and SMS marketing specialist for Refuge. Like many who work for us, I started with Refuge, just packing Band-Aids and bags. I then went to administration and customer service, and now here we are 3 years later. Want to talk to you about the importance of our mission statement here as Refuge. This is our mission for those who don't know yet. Once again, I am not religious, but for those of you that are, I 100% respect it and think you should hear this. Their mission is to save lives while in service of the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of his provisions and blessings. Saving lives isn't just about having and providing life-saving medical equipment. Most importantly, it's about bringing people to the light. We have over 130 lives saved to date. A company that can boast that is pretty significant, and that alone is a huge testimony to his mercy. That's another day those people were able to spend time with their family, come to know the Lord, or even spread the word themselves. And there's a few more paragraphs in here, but I think you get the gist. Guys, Refuge Medical is an American, 100% American company. All of their product is their not product, but their damn it. There's the items that they buy to make the stuff that they sell. Someone put in the chat the word I'm looking for, because it's not product. More lives saved than McDonald's. Yes, absolutely, Stray Kitten. Absolutely. but all of the things that they use are made in America, and then all the things that they sell are made in America. And yes, there are some of them that are expensive, but this is one of those situations where buying the cheapest stuff is not smart. It's like a Glock. It's got to work out of the box. It's got out of the box. So if you're going to spend any money coming up, I recommend that you try to go to refugemedical.com and do some of that there, or at least take a look around in there. Yeah. And there's a code, so you might save some money too. Okay, so with that shameless promotion finished, we need to talk about something called post-disaster accountability. The source say their items from the US. Yes, they source their items. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Anarchy. Anarchy, good to see you, Broseph. Haven't seen you in a while. All right, let's see here. Where are we at here? Post-disaster accountability. While some preppers may believe that a large-scale disaster may leave them free to defend their homes by any means necessary, the reality is far more complicated. Law and order are likely to return, and survivors will demand justice for actions taken during the crisis. Those who use lethal force to defend their property may later be judged as aggressors rather than protectors. People must remain aware that they may need to justify their actions in a court of law, along with the immediate threat. Long after the immediate threat has passed. The example of the Old West gunfight is often cited as a modern model for self-defense. A person should never shoot first, but maybe be ready to end a fight once it begins. While this principle can provide a useful guideline, it's also risky. Waiting for a clear threat may become, before acting may leave you vulnerable to injury or death, but acting prematurely could lead to criminal charges or civil liability later on. The bottom line is that you need to know the law, and you need to be skilled, and you need to be trained, and this needs to be muscle memory is what this comes down to. Not drawing and shooting, but thinking, drawing and shooting. Going to the chat. What do we got here? Great to see you from rural Minnesota. Yeah, there we go. Stray Kitten put something in chat. I think a couple things in their kits aren't made in America, like no medical shears are made in America. What? I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I'll take that. If that's the case, I'll take that. No medical shears are made in America? That's an interesting factoid. Paradigm Shift says on the Rumble side, I caught the live only because I stepped in and my whole morning is messed up. Good morning. Good to see you, Paradigm Shift. Yeah, Paradigm Shift normally writes me a dissertation on the video after we do the, or should I say, he's part of the replay crew. All right, let's see here. The first thing in the recommendations for preppers is have a layered defense. Use passive defenses such as reinforced doors, gates, and fences to make it difficult for attackers to breach your property. We're talking about preemption here now, Non-lethal deterrents like alarms, motion lights, or even loud dogs can provide additional layers of security without immediately resorting to violence. I think that we don't do enough preemption. I think that I hate to say this, but I think that many preppers have adopted the gray man theory that works if you're like moving through it has a lot of positive possibilities. But I think we also whoa there, that's a crazy button I just pushed. I also think that meanwhile, in America, an alarm sign at the front of your property or a sticker on your window, this property, protected by whatever alarm company you have, does deter people. Smile for the camera, those kind of signs, they do deter people. They're very passive, but they are extremely effective because most criminals in an environment where law and order is still in place don't want to go to jail. So you kind of harden the target is what they call it. Let's see here. Tenacious says, don't be like a cop who took the job just to enforce his or her will. When you defend yourself, we are all under the double-edged sword of justice. True. Rose says, the majority of our medical instruments are from Europe or Pakistan. Interesting factoid. Interesting factoid. All right, let's see. So we talked about the layered defense. The next is de-escalation training. Preppers should also invest in training that focuses on de-escalating potentially violent situation. Verbal tactics, conflict resolution, and non-lethal tools such as pepper spray and tasers can also diffuse confrontations before they turn deadly. Once you use your firearm, it's like a light switch you can't turn off. Hold on, this might be an emergency. Give me 1 second, guys. Hopefully there's no lip readers out there. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so let's see here. When we talk about de-escalation training, just learning how to de-escalate a situation is a hell of a lot better than being basically locked up. You shoot somebody, there's a very good chance you're going to get locked up regardless. So, there's you should and we're going to talk about it, but it's something called legal preparedness. All right, so going to the chat here. Where are we at here? Let's see here. Southern Tier Prepper says the house we're buying has a ton of windows. I'm already ordering security film and auxiliary alarms and locks for all of them, and the house isn't even coming up until December. Yes, those are all solid security precautions. Highly recommended. Stray Kitten says, where are we at here? Something about the shears not made in America. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's that no quality shears are made in America. I don't remember. I'm not sure. I wasn't aware of it. Let's see here. Thus, NATO friendly compliant. I got you, Rose. A nurse for you two. We're just calling you nurse. I'm calling you nurse 4. My car was broken into last month by 2 guys. They looked at the camera and broke in. People don't care anymore. Yeah, it is happening. It is happening. Most of the time, they just cover their faces. Let's see. West Virginia Pappy says you should also be certified for taser for legal purposes. Yes. Where you would get that certification, I'm not exactly sure, but it is what it is. Paradigm Chef says, I'm catching flack for wanting to breed my dog. What if the puppies are as vicious as her? They say that's the plan, is the answer. That sounds a little ridiculous. Where are we at here? The lots of ads for USCCA for insurance and legal representation for concealed carry and firearm use. Cindy, I do not believe in the USCCA. I have another company that I'm trying to do some work with. I think that they're the best, but I want to connect all the dots before I go down that line. But USCCA has got some serious problems. Let's see here. Stray Kitten. You can call me Stray. I'm not a cat. Southern Tier Prepper says New York bail reform has criminals not caring if they get caught or not. They get released with no bail. Yes, that's a significant problem they have in New York. All right, so let's move on to community cooperation. Building a relationship with neighbors and organizations, community defense groups can offer a mutual protection while distributing the burden of defense. A united front can deter would-be attackers, making it less likely that anyone will need to resort to force. Yes, create an environment where everybody's a hard target. That's what community cooperation is really about. Legal preparedness. Preppers should be well versed in the self-defense laws of their state and consider taking a concealed carry course that covers both firearm safety and the legal limits of deadly force. Consulting with an attorney who specializes in self-defense is a good way to ensure that defensive plans are legally sound. Excuse me. Ooh, man burp. Documentation. In the event that force must be used, thorough documentation of the circumstances, such as a video footage or witness testimony, can support claims of self-defense later on. Preppers should also consider setting up security cameras to provide real-time evidence of an incident. Once again, that only works if you are innocent. That only works if you are innocent. Let's see here. What do we got here? Thank you, LP. Lots of ads. What do you mean ads? I don't understand. Thank you, LP. Just lots of ads. I don't know what that means. If two Stray Kitten says, if two word are too many for you to say. Let's see here. Southern Tier Prepper says, I have a 2A criminal defense attorney in our mag. I love it. And his doctor wife. Cha-ching! That's pretty odd. Oh, USCC ads. I got you. I'm about to say, I don't put ads. Matter of fact, if you guys don't know this, the channel is monetized. I asked everybody if they cared when I started doing it. And everybody's like, yeah, get it on, man. Make your money. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I get my 32 cents. But I never put ads in the middle of my videos. And all of my membership only videos are not monetized. So you should never get an ad on a members only video. And you should never see an ad in the middle of any of my live streams or in the middle of my videos. If you do, please let me know. I don't know what I can do about it, but I will definitely I will definitely vocalize my discontent to YouTube for breaking their own rules. So just an FYI. Let's see here. The USCCA ads are everywhere. They've spent a lot of money. They do have people that believe in their system, but honestly, the people that are promoting the USCCA are getting some pretty serious kickbacks. So I'm not, and it's like that's all great, but it doesn't do anything for the real people. And I even hesitate to say the company that I would go with. But at some point I will. I promise. Let's see here. Pastor Rally says, the topic is relevant right now. Look at all the people having to deal with their new Venezuelan landlords. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see here. Keep written records in a daily planner. Legally more weight as evidence in court. Okay. I got you. All right, let's see here. Looking at the chat, looks like we're coming to the end of the stream. So this would be the opportunity for you to put your vote in. The question is, in a crisis scenario, how important is it to consider legal consequences when defending yourself? 47% believe that it's important, but survival is first. So in conclusion, while disaster scenarios may require preppers to defend themselves in their and their families, the legal ramifications of those actions cannot be ignored. By preparing carefully, using non-lethal defenses, and fostering community cooperation, preppers can protect themselves in ways that reduce the likelihood of legal repercussions. Being ready for both immediate threats and the return of law and order is the key to long-term survival. All right, so a few minutes left for you to throw something in the chat. If you put something in there, we'll talk about it. If not, then I will turn this thing off. While you're deciding to do that, I will be, my live stream schedule is going to start to fluctuate. Rural 2IC, you just showed up, man. We're getting ready to finish this up. You just got here, you slacker. Now, you're probably working. You're probably just doing your job. But I'll be, like I told you in the beginning of the live stream, I will be speaking at the Kentucky Homesteading and Sustainable Living and Preparedness Expo in Kentucky. And that will be happening this weekend. I'll actually speak. Well, there's a schedule. Let's see. So I'm going to be, it's basically a 12-hour drive, which I won't do because I'm old and retired and don't care for that kind of thing. I'll take about 2 days to drive. I will try to do live streams from the road at approximately 9 a.m., but I can't promise that. I'll try to make videos, but I can't promise that because my schedule is so fluid. Tomorrow I will be out of the studio on the road, but I still plan on doing that one 8:45 to 9, something like that. It'll start. It really depends on what I can get done prior to needing to do the live stream. I think it's okay to throw rice at weddings. Bowling Green, Kentucky. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Preston, use sufficient O2 observers and freezing is not needed. Gotcha. All right, so it looks like we're actually doing pretty good. 51 people and 40 votes, and I didn't see any real questions in there. Everybody's kind of like jibber jabbing. I'm more concerned about angry mountain lions, panthers, and bears. Well, I mean, if you live in a place where those things exist and coming into your backyard, I would be worried as well. All right. I think that's going to be it about, that's going to be about it. As usual, guys, if you like what I'm doing, support the channel, become a member. If you're using your phone, look for the blue more button, tap that, slide all the way down to the bottom, see the join, and then pick a choice. I recommend the one in the middle. We are doing more and more members videos every day. In fact, I have a 45-minute long presentation video on water food security, that methodology. I have not released it yet because I'm using it to teach myself stuff about my stuff. So, but that one will be coming out here shortly. And then obviously more members videos will be showing up as we go down the road. All right, guys, I'm rambling on about nothing now. Thank you for hanging out with me. I shall see you guys tomorrow morning, same time, same bat channel. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the way out the door.